B-League action comes your way once again as we welcome you to the Wing Hat Kasukabe, our venue here for this Wednesday evening as the Koshigaya ALPHAS host the Yokohama B-CORSAIRS. Both these squads are below 500 as far as their records are concerned. They need victories and they need to string them together as quickly as possible. Well, these fans love their teams. Doesn't matter if you're at home, doesn't matter if you're a visitor. They're going to be traveling to be able to support their respective squads as we welcome you to the home of the Koshigaya ALPHAS. Right now, their record at 12-20, as you can see there. Not far behind the Yokohama B-CORSAIRS at 11-21. This is an Eastern Conference matchup. This conference being led by Utsunomiya Brex at 25-7, followed closely by the Chiba Jets, as you can see there, in second place. Let's take a look at their head-to-head stats. And the numbers show that these two squads are really fairly even. That's why it is going to be an exciting affair. For the Filipino fans, brief sidelight. Two Filipinos playing as Asia Kore Imports there taking his free throws. Kai Soto, who plays for the national squad, Gilas Pilipinas under Coach Tim Cone. And on the other side, Kiefer Ravena, also a one-time member of the Philippine squad. We're getting close to the international window, which happens in the second part of February. First and foremost, let's take a look at our three referees. We've got referee Ono, referee Hosoda, and referee Kuwabara. These three will be handling the proceedings right here at the Wing Hat Kasukabe. They're going to try to be as noisy as they possibly can, talking about the ALPHAS fans. And rightly so. You want to make sure that the opponent knows that they're playing away from home. As we take a look at the lineup here of Coach Lassie Tuovi. Number 3, Seiya Ando. Of course, number 4, Damien Inglis. Two of their main cogs. They have number 8, Gary Clark. Of course, Kiefer Ravena, number 15. And then number 25 is Caleb Tarzevsky from the United States. So those are the key players for this squad. Tarzevsky, Clark, and Inglis are the international imports. They have waiting in the wings Cameron Jackson, but he's not available for today. You can only field in 3 international imports. Seiya Ando, of course, part of the Japanese national squad, and he will be part of the starting 5. There it is. So they have Ando, Clark, Ravena. A surprise start. A lot of times Kiefer comes off the bench. Tarzevsky's there, and Koyasudo to round out their starting 5. Ravena usually anchors the second unit. He will finish games, but at the same time, I guess Coach Tuovi wants to be able to have a stronger start here. This is now the second half of the season. Each team plays 60 games. And now, let's enjoy the fanfare as we welcome the Koshigaya ALPHAS. You see the numbers there of Taniguchi. Number 7, that's Hiroki Taniguchi. For the visitors, he will be coming off the bench and he will be giving them that firepower I was talking about. Let's enjoy the presentation as we welcome the entire squad and the starters eventually of the ALPHAS. There's the lineup of Koshigaya. Of course, number 1, Gerald Martin, one of their imports. They also have number 5, Anthony Clemens. Kai Soto's at number 11. And now we got the starters. There you have Coach Fujiwara. Of course, he's listed there as the head coach, but today we have Ryo Anzai on the sidelines here for the Alphas. There's Kai Soto. All 7'4" of him. Unfortunately for them, they don't have Sekou Doumbaya, the 6'8" Frenchman. So in his place, they're going to have number 21, Jeffrey Palmer, as his replacement. Just like our coverage last week, we talked about the fact that, well, injuries are really part of a season. In fact, coming off the bench will be Kai Soto, usually a starter here. But he's actually just working himself back into shape, because he was out with an ACL injury, which sidelined him for almost a year. And there are the starters once again for both these squads. So the Alpha starting out with Martin, Clemens, Matsuyama, Ikeda, and Kamata. That's number 18, Yuya Kamata. The starters for the other squad, of course, we talked about them earlier. Ando, Clark, Ravena, Tarzewski, and Sudo. And there's tip-off. Boys in white will get first possession. Kiefer Ravena using that pick. And look for space. We'll get it back quickly. Kiefer's going to put up a 3 to start things off. Ooh. Comes up short. Apologizes to the bench there. A little bit too much of a loop on that one. Nothing going there. On the outside. Clark with the handoff. Now they're going to look for their main man, their main local scorer, of course. Say Ando goes to Clark. Clark puts up a 3. Short on that one. Kiefer with the putback. It's going to stay down. Kiefer starting off scoring for his squad. He likes to get his teammates involved more than anything else, but he is a scorer and a potent one if needed. We're tied at 2 apiece. Nice basket there from Matsuyama. Jumper here. Nothing but the bottom of the net there for Koyasudo. Clemens trying to rush things. Clemens, one of the shorter point guards you're going to feel and see here. From the outside, it's now 1 point lead. First taste of the lead here for the Alphas. That brought a lot of applause, and rightly so. Quickly inside the paint, trying to challenge the defense there. Coming up short, but 2 free throws for Seiya. A lot of times, teams will go for size as imports, but Anthony Clemens is only 6'2". So they're looking for somebody that can actually run their backcourt and run the offense as well. Ando there with the free throw. Trying to give his squad the 1 point lead here. Handoff. Once again, getting it back to Clemens. You want the ball in his hands. Look at that quick swing. Open three. In and out. But they got the shot that they were looking for. That is what's important. And that is why they have someone like Clemens there, almost always holding on to that ball. That'll stay here. Clemens being very active defensively. You got to be very careful. Tarzevsky up high. There's a switch. Finally, they look for Ando, who's being guarded closely by Clemens. Ravena's going to be given this three. Offline, and a foul will be called. Deep inside, Tarzevsky, always active. Yuya Kamata, 6'6" center here for the Alphas, picking up that foul. That's usually the spot here. Almost a turnover. It is. Quick hit, and what I was about to say a while ago, as Matsuyama hits that three. Already now with 8 points. In fact, he's got all the 8 points of his squad. Usually the starting center for the Alphas, of course, is Kai Soto. Two-point advantage for the home squad. Tarzevsky out of his comfort zone. Ravenna with a preemptive foul there. Another turnover, just too many turnovers early here. That's going to lead to an open three for Clemens. He'll misfire. Nice board there by Clark. Nice attack inside. Tifa Ravenna being very active here today. He's already taken 4 shots. He's at 50%. He's made 2 out of 4. And Damian Inglis will check in. Here comes Kai Soto, the behemoth. That's going to plug a lot of their holes. That's for certain. Kiefer trying to give his squad the 1-point lead. with his free throw. I guess that's one of the main reasons why Kiefer is in the starting unit today. They want him to be as active as he can offensively. A lot of times what opponents will do is they try to load up on Seiya Ando. Kai King will check in for Kiefer Ravena. 1 point lead enjoyed by the Yokohama B-CORSAIRS. Clemens will go inside looking for Kai Soto. That's a nice find. The scouting report has got to be Kai Soto is a very good passer. First 2 points here for Martin. There's another turnover. They go to Kai. He goes to the wing. Extra pass. Clemens for 3. A little bit too strong. They're going to have a second attempt. Kai Soto asking for the ball. A lot of times it would be good to give it to him there, because you can have big action from that particular area. As Martin gets fouled. First personal foul going to be called on Tarzewski. Oh, check that. It's going to be on Kai King. Sugawara coming in for the first time. That's number 28. That's Kai Sugawara. Martin still on the outside. That's not where he likes to operate. Here is where he's the most effective. Nice block though by Tarzewski. That's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. He doesn't like the fact that he was getting pushed around inside, and he said there should have been a foul, but you're going to say it's a turnover. Well, they're going to check this. It's an official review, not a challenge. So there was the block. So they're saying there should be maybe 1 second. Coach Anza is saying there should have been at least 1 more second, but nonetheless, they say it was touched last by the Alphas, so we're going the other way. 10-9 in favor of Koshigaya. Nice swing. Damon Inglis will try to go inside. Tarzewski will challenge, and he shoots it over the 7'4" Kai Soto. One of the referees just hit the deck, and he's back, and he says he's good to go. 3 on the way. Once again, another 3. Talk about somebody who is on fire. 11 points now for Matsuyama. 11 out of the 13. Two-point lead once again enjoyed by the Alphas. Chance once again of let's go Alphas. Kai. That's a nice fake. Tarzewski had his head turned around. Kai Soto. We'll find Martin. Martin a little bit too strong, but you can see the passing ability of Kai. He finds the open man, and he's a very willing passer. Nice spin. We got that shot off. Koyasudo did before the help defense was there. 4 points now for Koya. Foul's going to be called there, and Seiya Ando, his first. Ando will take his first breather. Coming in is Yuichi Ikeda on the Alpha side. Retired at 13. So Clark's back. Together here with Kiefer Ravena. You can see the strategy here of Coach Lassie Tuovi. He wants to have at least Seiya Ando and or Kiefer Ravena on the floor as much as possible. Foul inside. That's going to be the first on Inglis, and 2 free throws coming up here for Martin. Two free throws coming up here for Jarrell. Short there on that one. We've seen a lot of shots short today. The B-CORSAIRS already in the penalty with still 3:50 to be played. Second, making the adjustment there, recalibrating, is Jarrell. Makes that. In the backcourt now, it's Kenta Morii. He is the backup point guard. Sometimes he will start. But today, Kiefer got the start. Nice move there. A little quicker is Damian Inglis, picking up a first personal foul here for Kai Soto. And that will also put Soto and company in the penalty. First look here for Jeffrey Palmer. Jeffrey from the United States as well. They get it inside. Now up high, Kenta. Kiefer trying to make his move using the pick. Kiefer will challenge, will come up short. Ravena inside will overshoot though. Palmer might be called for traveling. Well, before the travel, they're going to say his foot hit the baseline. So still a turnover. There's a nice look at Coach Rio Anzai. .318 still to be played here in the first. Baseline inbound, Morii. For a lot of movement, they eventually get it inside to Damian. Damian wanting to challenge once again. Falling away a little bit too strong. That's good defense there from Kai. And he releases. Finds Clemens. Kai Soto's first attempt. A little bit too strong on that baby hook. Let's see if Inglis wants to challenge once again. He got one personal foul already off Kai. Kiefer. Extra pass. Clark wide open for 3. Yes. That's a nice find. 2-point lead for the visitors. 3 points now here for Gary Clark. His first bucket. Soto can hit that 3, not wanting to challenge yet. We'll try to go inside. We'll lose possession. It's 3-on-2 the other way. Morii will give it up. What a pass. Kai King there, getting behind the defense. Nice alley-oop play. And it's now a 4-point advantage enjoyed. With the visiting squad up by 4. Coach Anzai not happy. Good evening and welcome back to the Wing Hat Kasukabe, our venue here this Wednesday evening for B-League action. It's the Alphas hosting the B-CORSAIRS as we have two Filipinos going head-to-head. Kai Soto up against Kiefer Avena. From deep, the left-handed Palmer hits. Welcome addition to their squad since Sekou Dumbaya is unavailable, out with an injury. That's gonna cut the lead down to just one. Nice bounce pass, Kiefer Avena hurt. Just keeps hurting that defense time and time again today, already with 7 points. Kiefer's got 7 of the 20 here for Yokohama. Mori is gonna pick up his first personal foul. Checking in for the first time is Hiroki Matsuzaki, number 24. A minute 33 remaining. 2 free throws coming up here. Mori is first. As we mentioned a while ago, already in the penalty, both these squads. So Clemens to the line. Clemens looking for his first basket. Still no points. He does have 1 assist though. Next the adjustment. That'll bring his squad closer. They're still down by 2. Matsuyama checking back in. Matsuyama off to a blazing start. Murii. They give it up to Clark. Ravena. Back to Murii. Trying to make that defense move. They're playing a man zone. And they're going to leave the shooter wide open. Damien Inglis can hit that 3. He's on the board and now it's a 5-point advantage. This is now the biggest lead in the contest. At 23-18, 5 points. That's a nice reply. Matsuyama's got 13 points already. How about a sizzling start? There's going to be a foul. 2 more free throws coming up here for Kiefer. That's a smart play. He felt the contact, went down. Personal foul is going to be called on Ikeda. He's pleading his case as we have Gerald Martin coming back in. So now with Martin back in, standing 6'10", they can rest Yuya Kamata a little bit. They're also resting Kai Soto. Kiefer now with 8 points. Trying to establish another 5-point lead for his squad. Trying to distract Kiefer as much as they possibly can, but Kiefer is a veteran. Not going to get bothered by all those jeers. Man-to-man defense being shown here. This time by the boys in white. Short enough attempt. A nice putback. Martin takes up so much space inside that paint. Will cut the lead down to 3. Shot clock's off. Mori making sure they're going to take the final shot here. So at least, at the very worst, they're up by 3. Mori gets stripped. And we're going the other way. 2.6 remaining. That's more than enough time for one long pass and another quick one before they take the attempt, or one short pass and a heave. Let's see what they up to. Short pass. And the heave. So they go for option 2. That was close. That would have tied things up. And why not? Give it to the hot hand. He'll come up short though. As we end the first quarter proceedings, it's the visitors up by 3, 25-22. Second quarter is underway here at the Winged Hat Kasukabe, our venue for B-League action this Wednesday. Poor pass, goes straight to Tarzevsky. Turnover here for the Alphas. Not the way you want to start a quarter, especially since you're down by 3. Say Ando's back. Gary Clark, couple of fakes. We'll try to attack inside. That's a nice little nudge there. That frees himself for a basket inside. Back up to a 5-point lead here for the visiting squad. Why not look for the hot hand? That, of course, is number 7, Shun Matsuyama. Already in double digits. Second personal foul going to be called on Kenta Mori there. Stopping proceedings just for the bit. Looking at the turnover stories so far. Yokohama with 5, 4 for Koshigaya. Nice look inside, but one of the few misses that we've seen here so far from Shun. Holding on to his face there. Looks like he got clipped on the way in. Still checking on his nose. Clark from deep. 3, a little bit too strong. Easy rebound there for Kai Soto. Soto now with 2 boards. He also has 1 assist. Little by little, I think Kai is going to get a little bit more playing time. As we talked about the fact he is coming off an injury after a long layoff, almost a year. Another steal. Trying to run here. Kentamori. Oh, check that. That's Matsuzaki there with the hit. Quickly apologizes. Matsuyama given a rest. So coming in his place is Kazuya Mitsui. They're trying to work here on Shun. Looks like he did get clipped on the way in, and so they want to make sure he's 100% before they send him back in. But expect him back because he has been the real thorn in the defense. Nice find. How about trying to go to the other end, and good start so far here also for Gerald Martin. He's got 7 points. It's a two-pronged attack so far here. Martin and Matsuyama. Talking about the Alphas, of course. Pretty spread out offense being shown by Yokohama. First foul is going to be called on Martin. Koyasudo with 4 points. We'll check back in. Together with Arzevsky. Quick launch. That is what Seiya Ando can do. He just needs a fraction of daylight, and he launched, which he tried there. Will miss though. From deep, short there for Martin. In the open court, Clark asking for a foul there. It was Lasituovi. Referee say play on. Shot clock's winding down. Seiya Ando goes to work. Four points now for Seiya. Back up to a 5-point lead. Nice. Ooh, almost a perfect pass. It's a turnover once again though for the boys in red. They look for Clark. They go to the wing. Matsuyama didn't want to launch. No foul there. Here's Clark inside. Falling away a little bit too strong. Lots of players hitting the deck, and the referee say just get up. Basketball is a physical game. Nice layup inside. Mitsui just checked in. He delivers 2 points, and now Lasituovi says we need to talk things over. Let's see the play that they're going to be able to run, or they're going to try to run at least. From Lasituovi. Sudo finds Ando. Shot clock's now down to 5. Inglis inside, gets all the way to the cup. up, gets fouled. That might not be the exact play, but in the end, they got the result that they were looking for. Foul's going to be called on Palmer, his first. Second team foul on Koshigaya. That's the real big advantage when you have somebody like Kai Soto just lurking inside that shaded area. Now with him on the bench, Inglis and company says, I'm going to take you to the cup. Inglis, a little bit too strong, and that's free throw. Lead stays at 5. Clemens. Clemens will give it back out. Yuya is going to have to take that one and makes it. The backup big man hits a 3. Another turnover here off. That illegal pick as far as the referees are concerned. There it is once again. Tarzewski's looking and saying, should be called a flop. Nonetheless, it was called a foul on Caleb. Chance here for Clemens and company to tie things up. Maybe even take the lead with a 3. Clemens gets to the cup. Denied. Kamata gives it out. Palmer will come up short though. Yuya doing all the positives here for his squad as Caleb Tarzewski delivers points inside. Approaching the midway point of quarter number 2. Clemens, his 3 rims out. Trying to extend the lead and falling to the ground here is Inglis. Ooh, we're going the other way. It looked like that touched Clemens last, but the referees say otherwise. No complaints from the bench of Yokohama though. Got a timeout on the floor. This is our official timeout. As we take a look at that last play, just falling to the ground there was Damien. When we come back, it'll be possession to the home squad. Tatsumi Yunao, number 51, will check in for the Yokohama B-CORSAIRS. As is going to get a little bit more taller. Adding height there to that lineup. He's in there to battle Yuya. You can see that battle there in the shaded area. Shot clock is down to 4. Almost a bailout, and it is. Foul's going to be called with the shot clock winding down. It was down to 2. Now we have Gerald Martin on the line for a free throw. Actually, for 2 free throws. That's going to be the second personal foul of Damian Inglis. He's not happy. It's 33-30 is our tally. 8 points in the contest so far for Gerald. He'll make both. As Kai Soto will check back in, you can see that they're really managing his minutes. You want him to be as effective as he possibly can, and you want him there in the end game, especially when it's close. But you don't want to overdo it. You want to keep him fresh, and when you want to have him for the rest of the season. Seiya Ando will launch and come up short. Once again, bothered there by the length of Kai Soto. Mitsui trying to get some confirmation about that last call from the referees. Kiefer Avena back in. He's had a very good first half for his squad, as his team still leads by 2. Yokohama though already in the penalty. They get it to Kiefer. Fresh off the bench. Finds Inglis. Kiefer will have to launch. Will come up short. They're going to get another possession here. Kiefer daring, getting some last minute instructions from his coach. Substitution once again, coming in is Ikeda. Now they can get it inbounds. Under 4 to be played here in the first half. Kiefer once again with a brand new 14. Pocket pass. Ooh, that's going to be another foul. That's going to be number 2 here in Gerald Martin. Complaining a little bit, and you have to feel for him. They've been allowing that much physicality from both these teams all throughout. Kiefer Avena, a little nudge. Almost threw it away. Nice save by Morii. Clark forces that one up, and Clemens will clear. And Koshigaya tie things up here on this offensive thrust. They look inside. Foul's going to be called on Clark inside. That's a mismatch if you can get it into him. Gary Clark is only 6'6". Nice seal. Smart play here coming from Kai Soto, knowing that Yokohama is in the penalty. He's at the line for 2 shots, and he's a very good free throw shooter. Kai looking to tie up the proceedings here with his second shot from the 15-foot line. Kai will make both. Only our third deadlock of the contest. The first was at 2, the second was at 13. And now at 33. Ravenna inside, kicks it out. Inglis will challenge. And you can see the length of Kai Soto being a real bothersome. And Damian Inglis says, thank you very much. He just stuck with it despite the fact that Kai Soto was there. Kai might pick up a personal here. No, they're going to give it to Martin. That's going to be number 3 on Jarrell. So there was contact and Inglis says thank you. Damien Inglis from France. He was looking forward to a matchup against Sekou Doumbaya. So Sekou is out. Inglis looking to give his squad 3-point lead once again and does. Got a total of 8 points for Damian as Kai King will check back in. He's got 2 points off an alley-oop earlier. Under 3 to be played before halftime. Active hand there from Gary Clark. Here's Shun. Definitely going to be looking for his shot. His floater goes. Let's go to Matsuyama every single time, says Coach Anzai, already with 15 markers. Almost half of the production of his squad here today. And remember, he's a local. Inglis puts up a 3. Again, Kai Soto doing a fantastic job defensively, bothering so many attempts from the opponents. Shun will try to go inside. That's a kick ball. That'll be 14 seconds once again on the shot clock. Exactly 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. 1 point lead enjoyed by Yokohama. Baseline inbound. Kai knows there's a lot of time and no rush. Twice active hands there from Damian. Shot clock's now down to 8. Clemens back. Go to the wing. Extra pass. Farmer will overshoot though. Kai could have actually taken that one. He had the much smaller Clark right in front of him. Opted to make the pass to the outside shooter, and overshooting there was Jeffrey. Looking to pad their lead, the visitors. Inglis once again. Inglis should attack inside. Not wanting to challenge. This time goes to Clark, and Clark hits a 3. Timeout is now going to be called by Coach Anzai. They need to be able to score when we come back. Final minute and 18. Alphas looking to score here. Gonna further cut into this deficit. Soto with the pick. Matsuyama gets away, but he's gonna blow that layup. Forced to go to the left hand. He can do that though, but just missing that time. Say Ando's back. He's been shackled primarily here. Kiefer steps back, puts up a three, and hits! Kiefer Avena on fire here in the first two periods. 12 points now for Kiefer. This is now the biggest lead at 7. Under 30 seconds. Nice strong attack. Easy layup there by Clemens. He's got 3 points. Needs to be a little bit more active though. Final attempt here. Both teams in the penalty. Kiefer feeling it. He might look for his shot here. Feels he's got a good mismatch. Flips it up. No. Nice tip in there by Tarzewski. At the right place, at the right time was Caleb. And after 2 periods, it's 44-37 in favor of Yokohama.
Come on, Alpha Venus.これよりプラスアルファタウン協定お披露目式を行います。1月21日水曜日、春日部市と株式会社アルファズはスポーツを通じた地域振興をはじめ、青少年の健全な育成、市民の健康促進、観光振興などを目的にさまざまな取り組みを進めていくプラスアルファタウン協定を締結いたしました。今後は魅力あるまちづくりや地域課題の解決の一助となれば、春日部市 アルファズがより一層連携を強化してまいります。春日部市長岩谷和弘様、株式会社アルファズ上原社長はコート長へお願いいたします。はじめに春日部市長岩谷和弘様よりご挨拶を頂戴します。
皆さんこんばんは。ご紹介いただきました春日部市長の岩谷和弘でございます。アルファメイトの皆さん盛り上がってますか？いまいちですね。盛り上がってますか？ OK。 本日はここアイルアリーナウィングハット春日部で開催される今シーズンの最終戦です。後半戦も熱く盛り上がってまいりましょう。そして横浜 B コルセアーズの選手、関係者の皆様、そしてブースターの皆様、ようこそクレヨンしんちゃんの暮らす町春日部にお越しくださいました。今日はねバスケットボールのみだと思いますが、またいずれの日かですね春日部に訪れてさまざまなところを楽しんでいっていただきたいと思います。そして先ほど説明がありましたが、株式会社アルファーズ様とは今月プラスアルファタウン協定というものに締結しました。今までもさまざま協力体制はあったんですが、一歩進めてですねさらなる連携強化によってお互い盛り上がってこの町を盛り上げていきたいというふうに思っているところでございます。結びに両チーム選手の皆さんのご健闘ご活躍ご来場の皆さんのご健勝ご多幸を記念して挨拶とさせていただきます。それでは参ります。後半に向けてレッツゴーアルファーズ。以上です。
続きまして株式会社アルファズ代表取締役社長上原和より挨拶いたします。
皆さんこんばんは。今日も多くのご来場ありがとうございます。今市長からあったように、協定を結ぶことができました。岩井市長の方からもう盛り上げの方と、内容と全部、話していただいたんで、私の方からは、本当にこの協定が結べたことを大変嬉しく思います。今後ですね、春日部市さんとこの試合会場もそうですし、練習会場もあるこの春日部市とですね、もっと協力体制を持ってですね、進めてまいりたいと思います。先日、今日アルファマンいるんですけども、春日部市内の学校に挨拶運動行ったんですけども、仮面ライダーだって言われてましたんで、まだまだアルファマンの認知、浸透してないなと思いましたので、これを機にアルファマンをもっともっとアルファーズをもっともっとですね春日部に根付かしたいと思います。そして今日は春日部市出身の稲田寛太選手、春日部育ちでですねこの地域の皆さんと育ててもらった選手かなと思います。今日初めてトップチームに登録しております。出場する機会があるかどうかはわからないですけれども、今前半負けてるところ皆さんの応援の力を借りて勝利に向かって頑張っていきたいと思います。本日はいろんな人の協力があってですねこのような締結を迎えることを嬉しく思います。後半もよろしくお願いします。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。それでは写真撮影に移りたいと思います。プラスアルファタウン協定の締結を祝し、今後のさらなる発展と活躍をとの激励の思いを込めまして、プラスアルファタウン協定の締結を祝し、 今後のさらなる発展と活躍をとの激励の思いを込めまして、春日部市長岩谷和弘様から花束の贈呈がございます。ありがとうございました。以上でお披露目式を終了いたします。
And it's been a very tight affair between these two squads. Kiefer Avena has done so well for his squad, one of the leading scorers. And as you can see there, close to the end of the first quarter, it was a 3-point lead enjoyed by Yokohama at 25-22. Slowly but surely though, coming back were the Alphas. Nice basket inside there by Damian Inglis. He's also having a good scoring night. Look at this bailout shot from Yuya. Knocks it down. And then Tarzevsky running the floor well. People forget that Tarzevsky is a 7-footer. Though Kai Soto is slightly taller at 7'4". Inglis tries to challenge inside. That's going to pick up the third personal foul of Gerald Martin. He's going to be hampered come the second half. Kiefer once again inside. Nice dip in there to end the half. And that's our halftime score, 44-37 in favor of the visitors. That's why we've got a silent crowd here. They're looking forward to their Alphas picking up the victory, but one man has really stood out. Shun Matsuyama. In almost 40 minutes on the floor, he's got 15 points already. Hitting from inside, outside. The only miss I can really remember was that left-handed layup. Tarzevsky, on the other hand, once again showing he's a real mobile big man. That's good strategy. Trying to run the floor quickly. Not exactly a player that can get you shots if you post him up, but once he hangs around the rim, he's difficult to stop. As we take a look at some numbers. In terms of turnovers, just 5 turnovers for the Alphas, 8 for the B-CORSAIRS. In terms of shooting percentage, just about even really. Just a shade under 60% from 2-point distance, and just about even also from 3-point country. In fact, there are 5 makes for the Alphas, 4 for the B-CORSAIRS. Looking down at the other numbers, 14 and 22. Not really that glaring of a stat, but those are the points in the paint, so it's just really +8. 13 and 7, those are the bench points. Again, really not that big a deal. In terms of rebounding, this is not on your screens, but look at this. The Yokohama B-CORSAIRS with 23 rebounds, only 12 for the Koshigaya Alphas. That's a big discrepancy. In terms of assists, dead even at 10 each. In a little bit, we're going to show you the leading scorers. Nice gym here for Koshigaya. As you see, Kai Soto. Nice to see him back in action. Going to the top scorers for both these squads. Matsuyama's got 15, 9 for Martin, and Kamata will come up with that lone 3-pointer of his for 3 points. On the other hand, Kiefer Avena leading the scoring for his squad with 12 points, 8 points for Damian Inglis, and 6 points contributed by Tarzevsky. In terms of rebounds, Clemens has got 3 as well for Martin, and 6 apiece for Clark and Inglis. Nice look there at one of the young players. That's Ikada. He has yet to see action though for his squad. But he is listed. Number 23, Kanta Inada. Let's see if he's going to see action. In the second half of the season, if you're just following the B-League for the very first time, a lot of times they have collegiate players who are actually in there to give them a taste of professional basketball. Getting down and dirty, 2 players, and a foul is going to be called there on Seiya Ando. This is that last piece of action. Good defense there and a little kick there to the face for his efforts, but nonetheless, Ikeda says, it's okay, I got the turnover. Oh no, they're not going to say it's a turnover, they're going to say it's a foul on Ikeda. That's why the fans aren't happy. But Ravenna's going to look inside, perfect pass! Missed though by Tarzewski. That was pinpoint accuracy there. Nice find. Yuya for another 3. Back rims that one. Kiefer with his first rebound. Sudo. Using that pick. Goes to Caleb. Will get it right back. Koya. Trying to kiss it off the glass. A little bit too strong that time. Set up their offense. The Alphas trailing by 7. No one has scored yet here in the third. Why not look for Shun? Even he's cold. They go deep. Ravenna doesn't want to launch early. To do some of that shot clock. Look for a better shot. But he was free. Clark will hit. No, he won't. That was halfway down. Here's Clemens to the wing. Shun. A little bit too strong. Both teams now struggling with their offense here. 2.5 minutes essentially gone. Check out, 1.5 minutes. Kiefer. 3. Bang! Kiefer Ravenna now with 15 points. And that is going to extend the lead of the visitors to 10. Chance of Let's Go Alphas once again. They need their team to start scoring. That deficit continues to grow. Nice pass inside. Yuya kicks it out. Shun. No! Shun is 0 for 3 here in the second half after scorching that hoop for 15 points in the first 2 periods. Seiya Ando. Ando will look for his spot. Will get it back. Now he's got to create for himself. He'll get fouled. Second personal foul going to be called there. Coach Anzai, not really a happy man here at this stage. His squad is down by 10. We got a timeout on the floor. We'll be back. 2 free throws are going to be given here to Seiya Ando. Didn't quite look like that was an act of shooting, but he'll gladly take it and make the first. Second on the way. Leads at 11. Could be 12. It is. Koshigaya needs to find their footing here. And they're looking to Clemens. That's a wise decision. They get the open three. It's not going to drop. Clemens will put it back though. Finally, they've scored here in the third, but it took them almost 3 minutes. Garzewski with a handoff. Sudo, Clark, and then Ando. Ando still now. Using that pick. Caleb did his job. Allowed his guard to weave around the defense. 8 points now for Seiya. Foul's going to be called here on Koya Sudo. First personal foul on Koya. David Inglis will check back in. 2 fouls in all. He's had a very good scoring day so far though. Kai King, the 3-point shooter, with just 2 points so far with an inside incursion. Jarrell inside, yes! He felt there was contact. It looked like there was. Jarrell now in double digits. Martin trying to play tough defense, but let's see, they try to help over Inglis. Inglis left behind. Kai King, this is his specialty. Yes. He's there to spread the floor. He's got 5 points now. Martin once again. That's a nice find. But they're going to have to bring it back out. Ikeda found himself in the land of the Giants. Jarrell from 16 feet, a little bit too strong. And Damien will bring it down himself. Will try to attack the defense of Yuya. And does! The lead is now 56-41. They've now got a 15-point advantage, talking about Kiefer, Ravenna and company. This is when you might need to send Kai Soto back in. You still have a chance. That's a nice find. Yuya scores. He's got 5 points. Now chance of defense. Seiya Ando eluding the defenders. Will misfire though. He was asking for a foul. Here's Jarrell all the way to the cup. And a foul is going to be called on Caleb. Martin did the right thing. Just went straight to the hoop. Tarzewski though, there you can see him there in the back complaining. Because actually he was holding his ground. But he was in the no-charge zone. Here is Kai Soto. He's got to help try to help lift his team, or else they're going to go down to another loss. Well, with a victory here, Yokohama will tie the record of the Alphas at this stage of the competition. Koshigaya at 12-20, Yokohama at 11-21. Seiya Ando given a breather. Kiefer back in. Two misses there for Jarrell. Damien English there, asking for a towel. It's not bleeding though, but he got hit on the nose. And he's saying it's the second time it's happened. Let's see where it happened. Ooh, there was a hit from Clemens. That should have been a foul. Referee say play on still. 13-point advantage by Yokohama, and they're looking for more. Going to the wing. Clark launches. Will come up short. Easy rebound there for Kai Soto. Soto now with 3 boards. Open 3. Finally, they get something on the board once again. Long drought. And they're back in business. Courtesy that 3 from Sugawara. Kai Sugawara. Nice find inside. Kai King has been moving very well without the basketball today. He's got 2 layups ready. And he's got a 3 for a total of 7 points. Leads back up to 12. They go inside Kai. Once he gets that close, just book it. 4 points now for Kai. Damien English, remember, has got 2 fouls. Not going to want to pick up a third. Definitely not this early. English from 17 feet. Not making the defense pay there. Clemens in the open court. Clemens still. Martin with a floater. A little bit too strong. Another rebound here for Kiefer. Pretty good number so far by Kiefer, especially scoring-wise. English trying to make a quick move. That's what you got to do against Kai, but good defense. English is not happy, coming in late to the picture. There he is pleading his case. Third personal foul going to be called on Kenta. As we have the latest addition here for the Koshigaya Alphas. Jeffrey Palmer back. Out of time still in the shot clock here. Kai will come up short on that jumper. He can hit the 3. He can also hit the medium range shot, but he's more accurate actually with the 3. 10-point lead still enjoyed by Ravenna and company. English will give it up. Kiefer. 2-man game here with Damien. He's looking to give it to English the whole way. English falling away, hits! Despite the outstretched arms of Kai Soto, he now has 12 points. And the lead is also 12. Clemens will launch. But a foul will be called first on Kenta. Trying to fight through that pick. That's going to put them in the penalty, as it's the 4th personal foul on Kenta Morii. That's the cue for Matsuzaka to check in. Also for Koyasudo. Strong attack there. That's what he's got to do. Farmer now with his second basket. Basket there. Still a 10-point lead here enjoyed by the visitors. As we head into the final 90 seconds of the third. Three on the way is gonna come up short. Chance to make their move here. Clemens. Foul's gonna be called there on Sudo. Only the second team foul, as Clemens looks a little hurt. Big collision. They both look okay. Nice look there at one of the fieriest coach here in the league, Ryu Anzai, but there's a miss. They're going to need to make these free throws. Looking at the free throw situation so far, the Alphas 6 out of 11 shooting below 60%. On the other hand, Yokohama shooting 8 out of 9 for 88%. Second will drop. Two-man substitution as they send Shun Matsuyama back in, hoping that he recovers the hot hand he had in the first period. He scored 13 of his 15 points in the first. Inglis. Little move. Gets it to Sudo. Sudo with a jumper. Yes. Lead is back to double digits. He's got 6 points. Timely contributions here from Koya. Under a minute remaining in the third. Ikeda goes to the wing. Farmer deep inside. Kai Soto saying he got fouled. Referees just shrug it off. Damien still trying to barrel his way inside. Gets the basket. Late help coming from Kai. Not in the nick of time. Difference of about a second on the game clock and the shot clock. Matsuyama looks inside. That's a wise move. Oyasuda just got out of the way. That's a good foul. That's a smart play from Ikeda, knowing that there's just 2.5 seconds remaining and you actually have 2 more fouls to give. They send Jarl back in. Not quite sure that's a smart move, because Jarl does have 3 personal fouls. You don't want him picking up a 4th. Nice tip coming from Jeffrey. Oh, so the youngster is in. Kanta Inada. Well, he's there really just to foul. But he's got to make sure that he doesn't foul in the act of shooting. Shun gets in the way. Good defense. After 3, it's an 11-point lead still enjoyed by the visitors, as the B-CORSAIRS lead 64-53. Fourth quarter is here. As you have collision, and that's going to be the fourth personal foul on Martin. Only 7 seconds gone in the fourth, and he's definitely close to falling out. Ryo Anzai looks down at the bench and thinks, what should I do? He can actually send Jeffrey Palmer back in. But Palmer has not really been able to come up with the points needed. This is a good play. Attack the defense here. That's going to be easy pickings now, as Gary Clark has 7 points. Just keep isolating up against Martin. Take advantage of the fact that he's in foul trouble. And at the same time, you can't involve him in pick and roll plays. That's off the foot. And it's going to be another turnover. Turnover number 7. Actually, only 7 turnovers so far for the Alphas. Already 10 for the B-CORSAIRS, but still, it's a big lead enjoyed by the visitors. Seiya Ando. Ando will stop. Short there from 17 feet. Clemens helping out at the boards as well. Cross-court pass. They look to Anthony once again. Clemens, no. Tap is not going to be saved. Well, they're lucky that it wasn't a save. If it was, it would have been a layup on the other end. That was a dangerous save from Sugiwara. Nice look inside. Once again, you can see they're really trying to challenge, and that's a good substitution. Bring in somebody like Caleb Tarzewski, and he can go crazy inside with his height and with his length. Lead is back up to 15. 68 to 53. Almost 2 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Third personal foul on Koyasudo. First team foul on Yokohama. Here's Clemens to the wing. The defense quick to react. What a block! And they're not going to try to rush things. They actually had numbers the other way if they wanted. Matsuzaki finds Clark. Clark for 3. That would have been the dagger. Tarzewski will pick it up. They've got a brand new 14 to work with. Seiya Ando once again. Couple of moves. Force that one up? No. Still a lot of time. Still a chance here for the Alphas. But they need to start scoring points. This is the time for Clemens to try to take over. He'll go to his big man inside. That's not a good play. You can't allow Yuya to try to make that pass. That's got to be Kai Soto. They look inside. Open 3. Bang! Definitely, the Alphas need this timeout. Seiya Ando now with 11 points. And Ryo Anzai saying, what do I need to do? Especially now that my team is down by 18. 6 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in this contest. That'll count. They needed that one from Clemens. He's got to really take control. Slashing the defense there. Foul's going to be called on Inglis. Three fouls now on Damien. Badly needed three-point play as Kiefer Avena is going to be sent in here. That's a good sub. You want somebody with experience and the ball handling skills. Not to mention the outside shooting of Kiefer. Turnover. That is going to help the cause of the Alphas. Make no mistake about it, there is more than enough time for the Alphas to come back. And Coach Anzai realizes it, sends Kai Soto back in, and that offensive foul will give them the basketball back. Kai trying to dive to the basket, they're not looking for him. At this particular stage, it might not be that much of a mismatch because you've got Tarzewski on Kai. Kenta Moriyu will come in. Yuya will give it up. So they're going in double bigs. Well, double bigs without Jarrell Martin. That'll stay here though. Referee, trail referee will come in and say, I saw it clearer. And so the call is ball for Yokohama. I'm trying to use some clock. We do have a comfortable 15-point lead. Kenta. Another poor pass. Another turnover. The thing is, can Shun and company deliver here? Kai Soto falling away, no. They go to Kai once again. He will misfire again. Two opportunities missed by Kai. Those are opportunities they're going to rue. Still down by 15. And then if Yokohama is able to score here, they're going to be in an even bigger hole. Inglis puts up a three. Bang! Back up to an 18-point advantage. 17 points now for Damien. Now things are going from bad to worse for the Alphas. But you can hear the fans still trying. Kiefer Avena almost with a steal there. That's going to bring us to this official timeout. First dead ball situation after the 5-minute mark. Here in the fourth, that's where we're at. And still a comfortable lead enjoyed by the visitors. That's what you got to do. You're down, force the action. And once again, taking advantage there of his speed is Anthony Clemens. Two free throws now coming up once again. That'll be the fourth personal foul on Damian. They might want to bring him out and bring back Caleb Tarzewski for the time being. Save Damian for the final 2 minutes if you might need him. Second free throw. That's a lot of time to be in the penalty. 4 minutes and 51. Let's see if they can take advantage though. Ravenna finds Clark. Clark resets, puts up a three and hits. That was poor defense. Nobody recovered to the shooter. Foul's going to be called, stopping the action. Nope. Check that. No foul, they say. It's going to be a turnover. And the youngsters checking in. Kanta Inada is back. Look at this, 16 years old. So he might just be entering college. We talked about the fact that the B-League allows collegiate players. This guy might be a freshman. Inglis gets away. Foul's going to be called there on Kai. He doesn't believe it. Second personal foul on Soto. He might have to be replaced here. That's a good move. This game, I think, is practically done. And that might be Coach Rio Anzai just waving the white flag. He'd like to be able to save Kai for bigger battles ahead. This might be just too big of a lead to overhaul. Well, you gotta hand it to the fans here. The Japanese fans, as they say, have got to be some of the best in the world. Their squad is down, and down big, down by 21, and they're still cheering. And none of them have actually left the arena. To the free throw line, we have Yuichi Ikeda. .78:59, heading to the final 4 minutes. Ravenna and company will not be in any hurry here. Sidestepping move, Kiefer will miss. He can't believe he missed. Still, almost an insurmountable lead. Kiefer with a breakaway and the touchdown. Lead is back up to 21. Kiefer now with 17 points. Another steal. Kiefer on the break. He felt the contact. Just threw it up there. Kiefer knows this one's in the bag. Trying to just put the finishing touches, as a foul will be called there on Kai Sugawara, another youngster, just 23 years old. And Kiefer Avena, at 32, is already considered a veteran. Two free throws for Kiefer to add to his impressive 17. Now at 18. Looks like Coach Lasti Tuovi has found a good rotation here. Starting Kiefer, usually having him come off the bench. He was coming off the bench majority of the first 30 games. Well, his day's done. I was gonna send in the cleaning crew. And still the fans, knowing that their team has no chance of coming back, still chanting, "Let's go Alphas!" Inside, Jarrell scores. Asking for defense. Nice find, Kai King again. He has done that time and time again, eluding the defender with great and timely cuts. Trying to do the same here. Defense is able to recover though. Well, that youngster will learn. The 16-year-old is quick at the collegiate level, but here at the pros, they're gonna swipe that shot inside every single time. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Inglis for three, why not? It is now 87-61. 26-point lead. In and out, still nothing for the youngsters. They're trying to get Sugawara and Inada involved. Namori says, "You don't need to score." Had to put that one up. The shot clock was winding down. Another offensive rebound. They have dominated off the boards. That's 40 boards for Yokohama, only 26. And a three to boot. 90-61. Now you got to take out the imports. You don't want them getting injured. Not at this stage. Not with a minute 16 remaining. And the victory well in hand. Sugawara for three. That was halfway down. They're really making sure that they're looking for the youngsters. Trying to get them some valuable experience, but unfortunately for them, it's going to be in a loss. Kai King with a jumper from the 15-foot line. That's short. Nice get there by Inada. But they're going to lose it. (92-61). Final 30 seconds. Trying to look inside. Yuya with a power move. Yes. And it doesn't look like the boys in white will look for another shot, or will they? Well, there is a difference of 2 seconds from the game clock and the shot clock. Turnover. We'll expect Koshigaya to still try to look for one more basket, that's for sure. Especially the youngsters. They want to have the final say here. Pocket pass. Almost lost it. Inada, not realizing that the clock was winding down. That's going to be another error on his part. As the Yokohama B-CORSAIRS will take this one this Wednesday evening, winning it by a mile, 92-63. Yokohama will improve to 12-21, and Koshigaya will drop to that very same record at 12-21 with this loss. Yokohama led 2-0. They trailed for a bit at 5-4 and 8-6. But after that, they led by 5 at 23-10, and they never looked back. The Alphas will now talk to their fans here at the Wing Hat Kasukabe. We're gonna get set on the sidelines for an interview with winning coach Lassie Tuovi. So the Filipino fans, they're happy that Kiefer Ravena was able to pick up a victory, but they're a bit disappointed that Kai Soto was not able to really showcase his wares as much. Nonetheless, they're happy he's back. He's back playing, and he could be used in the coming window this Feb. There's going to be an international window, so we're going to have no basketball action in the PBA, in the Korean League, in the B.LEAGUE, leagues all over the world, as they take a break for the international window, as they prepare for the World Cup qualifiers. Stick around, interviews coming up.
はい、それでは勝ちました横浜 B コルセアーズラッシー・トービーヘッドコーチです。コーチ、前節からの苦しい連敗、こうやってアウェーの地でまず止めました。今のお気持ち聞かせてください。
Yeah, that's exactly the point. We were not definitely happy how we played in Kyoto, and honestly, we had pretty good few weeks of practice with full roster. So expectations were high, and that was not the best B-course as of this year, and we wanted definitely today to react and show a different performance.
そうですね、やっぱり京都の2戦、本当に悔しい思いをしたので、でもバイウィーク中、本当に全員が揃っていい練習が2週間、3週間ほどできたので、次の試合でしっかりと自分たちのバスケットボールを見せればいいなというふうに思って、それが実際できたということに関しては本当に嬉しいです。
今日は先発からダミアン・イングリッシュ選手をベンチからの登場に変化させたと思うんですけども、ここら辺のもし意図があったら教えていただけますでしょうか。
Well, you know, the story of the season has been that we have a lot of ups and downs, not only during the weeks, but during the games, and that was also the story in Kyoto. So we tried to change a little bit the lineup typology, tried the different kind of looks, different pairs, and trios on the floor, and I think that was very successful because when he came in, then you know we had another lift for a different kind of with a different kind of a lineup.
そうですね、今シーズン本当にアップダウンが激しいシーズンの中で、先週末の試合もそうなんですけど、今回の試合に関しては、本当に新しい、ラインナップ、新しいやり方、新しいペアだったり、新しいトリオでどういう形になるかっていうのもちょっと挑戦したかったと思います。で、イングリッシュ選手が出た時にはまた新たな、武器っていうものがベンチからあったということで、今回はそれが勝利につながったというふうに思います。
ありがとうございます。今日のベンチスコア、越谷が16、横浜が35ということで、このセカンドユニットの貢献についてはいかがでしょうか。
Exactly, like I just said, like it's try to create a different kind of lineups, and today the bench players were ready, but also we had a little bit better balance, and congrats, it was a team win, and hopefully it's going to be a long second part of the season, so we definitely need those guys to be ready and help us during the stretches.
そうですね、先ほどおっしゃったように本当にその違うラインナップという挑戦で、そのセカンドラインナップというのもうまくいったということで、本当にシーズンもこれからまだまだ長いので、そういう挑戦とかいろんなことを考えながら、切磋琢磨して頑張りたいなというふうに思います。
ありがとうございます。最後、次節は久しぶりの今年に入って初めてホーム国府に帰ります。最後、海賊ブースター皆さんにメッセージお願いします。
Welcome to Boosters. I think you're one of the best basketball team at the moment in Japan, playing fast tempo basketball, very dominant, roster. So it's gonna be fun, and we are up to the challenge. So come on, Boosters. See you in the pool.
横浜のブースターファンの皆さん、いつも応援本当にありがとうございます。久しぶりの、ホームで本当にタフな、名古屋ドルフィンズとの試合になりますが、皆さんの応援というのは本当に力になるので、また会場に足を運んでください。
ありがとうございます。勝ちました横浜 B コースヤーズラッシー・トゥオビーヘッドコーチでした。
Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。
はい、続きまして今日見事19得点の大暴れキファー・ラベナ選手です。ラベナ選手、前半で大きくステップアップ、特にペイントへの強いアタックを見せてくれました。今ゲームを終えて今の印象を聞かせてください。
Of course, I feel happy. It's a well-deserved win for us. It was a struggle last game, but we found a way to get back on track. Everybody played well, everybody stepped up and did their role properly and stuck to the game plan.
そうですね、やっぱり勝てたことは非常に嬉しいことですし、先週末、本当に自分たちが大変な思いをしたということで、今回の試合で本当に全員が自分の役割を果たそうとして頑張ってくれたということに本当に嬉しい気持ちであります。
京都戦での悔しい負けがあったと思うんですけど、そこからチームメイトと何か交わしたコミュニケーションがあったら教えていただけますか。
Well, of course, beauty of the B-League, you get to play right away. We just lost on Sunday, but we had one day to practice and prepare for a strong team like KOSHIGAYA. Everybody just believed in the system, believed in one another, and we came out with a victory.
そうですね、やっぱり B リーグの美しいところっていうのは、すぐに試合があることです。で、本当にこの試合の準備は1日しかなかったんですが、その中で、選手全員がしっかりコミュニケーションを取って、どういうふうにやっていこうかっていう、改善の方法とかを考えながら、前を向いて練習ができたので、それがその勝利の結果のためになったと思います。
ラベナ選手、前節からゲーム1が20得点、ゲーム2が19得点で、今日も19得点ということで、これはもうギラス・フィリピーナ復帰決定ということでよろしいですかね。
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm just out here to play for Yokohama. Doing my role. I'm very fortunate that my teammates are looking for me, but this is very big for me, especially playing well. But the most important thing is we won, so we have to continue. I have to continue playing this well, and shout out to everybody who believed in us, especially my teammates.
それはまだ分かりませんが、本当にこういうパフォーマンスができたというのはチームメイトの皆さんのサポートのおかげだと思いますし、本当にこういうふうに貢献できるということは、横浜のためにもそうですし、そういうふうに考えてやっています。でこれからもまだまだ試合が続くので、引き続き頑張っていきたいなというふうに思います。
ありがとうございます。最後、2026年最初の国府に帰ります。ファン、ブースターにメッセージをお願いできますか。
this weekend. So, message for the fans.
To all the Yokohama boosters, thank you very much for always supporting us, even on the road. Now that we're heading back home, first home game of the year, if I'm not mistaken, at the swimming pool. So we're gonna come out and play our best in front of you guys.
横浜ブースターファンの皆さんいつも応援本当にありがとうございます。今年初のホーム戦になりますので、皆さんの前でしっかりといいパフォーマンスできるように頑張りたいというふうに思うので、引き続き応援のほどよろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございました。今日も大暴れキファー・ラベナ選手でした。
はい、ありがとう。
Well, great interviews there from Coach Lassie Tuovi, and then one of the heroes of the Yokohama B-CORSAIRS victory here tonight, Kiefer Ravena. We're going to have the highlights here in just a little bit, as we'll also show you some of the numbers before we call it a day. But Kiefer Ravena, I think definitely a big boost to that starting lineup for Coach Lassie Tuovi. And Lassie Tuovi actually talked about the fact that he was happy with the lineup change that he did. It's a matter of making sure that everybody on the floor are on the same page. And they were on the same page practically the entire night. They got off to a very good start. As we mentioned, they got off the first basket. They led 2-0. Then suddenly a big blast here by Shun Matsuyama. But then in the end, especially after that first quarter start, they were up 25-22. And Yokohama never looked back. Everybody helped out. Koya Kawamata. And from the outside, Gary Clark with a big explosion there. Nice find inside. All throughout the night, you saw Kai King moving so well without the basketball. So did Kiefer Ravena. And that was the end of the first period. 3-point lead. And then going to work was the national team stalwart. And after 2 periods, it was now a 44-37 advantage by Yokohama. The big man hits a 3. Everybody really thought to shoot from the outside, but look at this. Caleb Tarzewski running that floor quickly. He's a 7-footer. Fleet-footed though. Kai Soto will come up with those 2 baskets from the free throw line. Not necessarily a strong showing offensively, but defensively, he did his job. By my count, unofficially, at least 7 shots is what he bothered and was able to come up with good D, as they call it. Looking at his overall numbers, Kai Soto was on the floor for 19 minutes. He'd finished with 8 points. He'd also pick up 4 boards. He had 1 assist. No blocks, but as I said, his mere presence changes shots. Kiefer Ravena, a fantastic game. He is the player of the ball game. One of the few times that he was started, and he came up with tremendous figures. Look at this, 19 points on the floor for 22 minutes. He also came up with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. He was backed up by Inglis, who had 21. 16 points provided also by Gary Clark. And Seiya Ando would finish also in double digits with 11 points. Kai King would finish also with 9, close to a double-digit performance. So almost 4 players, actually almost 5 players in double digits for the winning squad. There's Kai Soto going to work. Well, first and foremost, it's just nice to see him back in action. He was out for practically 60 games, including last season's games that he missed. Damian Inglis being a real force inside and outside. As you see more of the action, Caleb always there to clean things up for his squad. Say Ando started to find his range, but he didn't really need to, because the rest of the squad really more than did their share. Damien Inglis with it at 3. And it's a runaway victory here for the visiting squad as the Yokohama B-CORSAIRS win this one 92-63. The youngsters were brought in. They got some valuable playing time, but here a late 3 for Gary Clark. He was replaced right after that. This will be the final basket for the Alphas. Well, the fans just cheering every basket despite the fact that their team was down big. They're not going to get a shot off there. And that will end the game. And so both these squads will now have similar records of 12 victories and 21 defeats. As we take a look at the numbers, the B-CORSAIRS shooting slightly better from 2-point distance, 55% as compared to 50% for the Alphas. They definitely shot much better from 3. 11 out of 25 for 44%, only 26% for the Alphas. In terms of free throws, exactly even in terms of conversions, but in the end, it was still a big victory here for Yokohama. Both with practically the same number of turnovers, but the big differences really will be in the other departments. As you can see, not too much of a difference in terms of bench points, because what Lasituovi did was he really loaded things up in terms of his first 5. In terms of rebounding, 43-26 in favor of Yokohama, and in terms of assists, it 22-16 also in favor of the victors. Now let's go through the numbers individually. For the winning squad, 21 points for Damien Inglis. Gary Clark would have 12 boards and 7 assists for Damien as well. 15 points for Matsuyama, all of those in the first half. He was blanked in the next 2 quarters. 8 boards for Martin, and Clemens, as expected, leading his squad in assists. He would finish with 5 dimes. And that's going to do it here for our coverage. We'd like to thank all of you for joining us for B-League action here this Wednesday evening. Till the weekend, take care. Have a good week ahead. God bless.